Programs. Welcome back to ArcNeo Reviews. So, a little bit of fun. Some of you may have seen these on Balt Matrix's channel. I had to give these things a check for myself. Today we're going to be looking at these soldier machine Beast King robots. Yes, I'm looking at the same 5 that Balt looked at. This is the package for Lion King. Here's the pictures of the others in the set. This set did not come with the elephant. As well as the panda was packaged in this box instead of the cards like the others. As well as the panda came with a little sheet that on this side has the same, 6 robots. But on the back shows a set of 4 sea creatures, as well as 3 dinosaurs. Now, the dinosaurs really interest me. I'm pretty sure I've seen this one looked at by Theo Adams back in the day. But you notice that the T-Rex one has this sword. They included the sword for some reason in the box with the panda. So yeah. Now, I know I've switched to a format where I do all transformations off camera. However, for this sort of thing, we're going to go ahead, transform on camera. They're all very, very similar to each other, so it won't take very long. And I figure for fun, we will start with the tiger. Now, I have to say, for the most part, as I drop him, these beast modes aren't terrible, at least in terms of, like, the sculpting and stuff. Articulation is terrible. The paint jobs make them all look quite stoned or something, but I mean, for a static animal figure, I've seen worse. I know that's not high praise or anything, but yeah, I've seen worse. This isn't too bad. Quite hollow. However, the plastic itself doesn't feel half bad. I have to give some credit there. This is not the worst plastic I've dealt with. Really no articulation, so to speak of. You've got elbows here. You can see the robot forearms. And you can move the front paws, which will start bringing out the robot hands. So let's just go ahead, get this thing transformed. Flip the paws back, and flip out the robot hands. Rotate them into position here. Go ahead and bring out the shoulders, which will let you flip up that whole section there. Keep moving it back. Go ahead, come here. Slide down the tiger face. Come in the back here. Flip up the robot head. Then split and pull down the robot legs. And getting these legs pulled down is hands down the most difficult part of transforming these things. I don't know why, but they're the tracks the legs are on just do not want to extend. So, and sometimes it helps at least a little bit if you pull out and shift the animal leg, because some of them I've been able to tell they do peg into each other to lock things in place. You can see a little nub here, so I'm pretty sure that it's pegged into that leg. But either way, just give them a yank, get them to come down. Eventually they will lock into place. Come down here. And if you can, try to get the feet folded out. There we go. And there we have our great, mighty Tiger King, this one was called. Yeah, this is not great. Now, I have to give credit, again, the plastic quality is not the worst thing I've ever dealt with. You know, I'm not worried about this shattering while I'm doing this. The problem here is the engineering. As you can see, he barely sees over the cat face. I will give credit. He's got, you know, some shoulder articulations, some in and out when the kibble flap doesn't hit him in the head. There is a joint here as well. It's hindered, but it's there. Rotation at the elbow. That's all at least a little bit decent. Nothing at the head. The legs can loosely flap back and forth. And he comes with this very goofy looking golden blaster thing. Also, no, if anyone's wondering, these are, I think, kind of like I think it's a 4mm peg on these. So all the weapons are far too small for your actual Transformers to use. Maybe some other figures, but not your Transformers. Yeah, it is a very hollow, gappy, weird mess. And I have to say, looking at things like this is why I laugh when people get upset about, you know, a Hasbro figure being too gappy or weird or something. Because, are you looking at this thing? This is, yeah, this is a sight. And it's basically the same thing over here for the Cheetah. The Cheetah is almost identical in transformation and sculpt and everything to the Tiger. I think the head is just, yeah, the head's like slightly differently molded there, but transformation, completely identical. Shoulders, paws slash hands. Rotate this up, head down. Sometimes the heads don't want to move, because of course they don't. Oh, I forgot. This one, you have to bring up the robot head first. Before you bring down the animal head, you have to use the hollowness to get you some clearance there. But, yeah, basically the exact same thing we just did. Get this leg to bend back and get off of that little peg there. The arm out of the way so we can actually fold this up. Fold out feet. Pull down legs. And weird blaster. The articulation is exactly the same. Most of it is exactly the same. The head is a little bit different. The blasters... Actually, no, those blasters are the same. Some of the blasters are a little different. These two apparently even got the same blaster. So they got a different animal head and a different robot head. That is your entire difference between Leopard King and Tiger King here. So, doing great so far. Okay, so next up we're going to take a look at the Panda. He comes off better in terms of the animal mode just because he doesn't have eyes. Though they did kind of lopsidedly paint the patches around the eyes, but it definitely looks probably the best in the animal mode, though it also does the worst job of staying together. His transformation does end up being a little bit different. The arms and shoulders are still basically the same, except you don't have a paw that you have to mess with, which is a little bit nice at least. It lets the fists come out a little bit better. He ends up having this huge panel on his back. You have to reach up under the panel to push up the head. Go ahead and use his blaster to do that. Bring up the head. Animal head does not have to fold down because of the way everything else works. Bring that leg down. extend the robot legs, and rotate at the waist. Ooh, an extra piece of articulation. And there you've got Panda King in his robot mode. And in some ways, he comes off the best, I have to say. He's got an extra bit of articulation here with the waist. It's a small thing, but it's nice. I forgot you have to flip out feet down here. He does actually have feet. But yeah, he's got the waist rotation. Still got the same elbow and shoulder stuff. He's got a big flap hanging off of his back, but sadly, I have to say this is probably the most solid of them in terms of just being a cheap transformer. It's still not great, but it's there. It's kind of passable. Next up, we've got Lion King. Not the Lion King, just Lion King. Looking incredibly goofy when you dare look at this thing from the front. And yeah, you can see most of the beast heads or animal heads don't quite join up in the middle here. Nice bit of extra articulation. You can actually open the mouth. It does not help anything, but you can do it. Tails rotate, by the way, on these, worth mentioning. I know I've kind of skipped that. On him in particular, if I remember right, you do actually have to rotate the tail around for transformation anyway. Once again, it's basically the exact same story. Bring that out. Go ahead here. You split the mane and give him extra kibble to hang off of his back, so that's always, a really nice touch. Bring that up. This all up. Let's see here. Go ahead. Flip up the head. Bring all this as down as it will go. Let's see. Get the lion legs up. And bring down his robot legs. And there's the blaster. Kind of a decent looking blaster on him. I kind of wish I could get something else to hold that. In terms of being a robot, this is probably the worst, if I'm gonna be honest. Everything is sitting at weird angles, the head's jutting forward. Like, the others managed to keep things kind of in place a little bit. Here, the best part of the figure is the roaring lion chest. Yeah, not great. Sorry if I'm not going into as much detail about these as you would like. These are incredibly simple, stupid figures. So let's go ahead and end with probably the most interesting of them, and that is Eagle King. Eagle King works substantially different than the others. Does actually have a mostly decent looking animal mode, I have to say. The wings are pretty nice. If they were made out of a better material, they'd even be kind of posable. Sadly, they're that kind of softish, rubbery plastic, and they don't like to actually move on their little hinge. So that's a bummer, but you've got this almost decent eagle figure. It looks goofy from the front, but eagles do look goofy from the front anyway, so points for accuracy there. Transformation on this one, probably the most different of them all. Come down here, fold out the feet, which are actually the only piece of exposed robot mode for this one. Fold up the tail fin, or the tail feathers, I guess. Go ahead, get them separated a little bit. Fold out the legs. Pull out a little bit and rotate back the bird legs. Get them as out of the way as they will go. Fold down the eagle head all the way like that. shift up on the torso here a little. And if I can get a hold of them here, you have to bring out the arms from the back here. Fold those up like that. Get the shoulders in place. Bring down the arms. Get the arms facing the right direction. Get everything kind of squished back up as good as it gets. And that's your weird Eagle King figure. As usual, blaster. I have to say, I think I like this one the most, although this one's also the most disappointing, simply by fact of it was almost something like good, and its failures become that much more apparent because of that. It's at least good for a laugh, I'll say. It's got really good stability, despite the back heaviness of the wings, because it uses the tail feathers as heels. Like, this one's almost worth messing with on its own. The rest are absolutely terrible and horrible, and we'll see if I can even get them to stand up straight. Most of them will not stand straight. So, yeah, the only way in which I recommend these is if you're just painfully curious and basically you want something that will make any official Transformer figure just feel amazing. Because these will make you respect even the worst figure that Hasbro or Takara puts out. These are awful. These are hysterical. Do not be like me. Do not bother wasting your time with them. I'm going to make someone else suffer through these. So watch my pinned comment. And, yeah, once I get these pawned off to someone, we'll have their suffering linked down there. Anyway, as always, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.